Good day everyone. Together with Ms. De La Cruz, we will be discussing about positive peer relations. I have here our lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to define positive relations, discuss the different learning theories that affect positive peer relations, and present case presentations applying the learning theories that affect positive peer relations. Before proceeding to our topic this morning, I have here an activity that asks, what can you say? Examine the picture, list down your observations based on how the students behave in going back to school. Be specific on your comments. You can share your ideas in the comment section. Why do you think the learners behaved that way in the picture? Based on the activity, define positive relations. Positive peer relationships often distinguishes between friendship and peer acceptance. When we say friendship, we are talking about high quality friendships, a friendship that is built with trust, someone who will be with you through peaks and valleys, someone who will help you grow. Peer acceptance, sometimes referred to as popularity, focuses on how much students like to play with their classmates, which has been found to affect students' sense of belonging in school and their academic achievement. Why do we say peer acceptance can be referred to popularity? It is because popular or sikat in Tagalog, the first thing that comes to our mind is someone who is admired by many. In short, they are socially accepted. So it means that when a student feels socially accepted, it has impact on the life of the student. One of that is that the student will feel belongingness in the classroom. Though not everyone likes that student, but when there is a friendship that will make him or her belong. You feel belongingness in a classroom, the result would of course depend on the group of friends a student have, learning, motivation, and relation. The age of the student is one consideration in weighing the importance and application of motivation to learn, which means that what should be taught to the students must be something they are capable to understand. What you are about to teach to your student must be suitable to their age. It has to be student-centered. Students who surround themselves with peers and influences who value learning and educational process will also value their own learning and strive to enhance their education. Friends provide support and resources and can both encourage or discourage academic achievement. This showed the importance of choosing your circle of friends. Why? It's because if your friends value studying, then you'll be encouraged to study and learn too. That's why, if you have observed, when having an exam or quiz, a circle of friends have almost the same scores. Abraham H. Maslow viewed the need for love and belongingness as a step toward achievement in his hierarchy of motivation model, which he described in 1954. In this view, the deprivation of more basic needs hinders progress along the path to achievement. For example, having social connections is related to better physical health, and conversely, feeling isolated, such as having unmet belonging needs, has negative consequences for health and well-being. The ability to learn is built on a foundation of comfortable relationships with others, including peers and family. And classroom learning is all about learning with and in the presence of others. Expectancy by value. Theories define motivation as the product of the amount of success in a task that an individual expects to earn times the amount of value the individual places on the task. Thus, a task that the individual values and expects to be successful at will be motivating compared to a task with a lower expected success or value. The concept of expectancy represents the idea that Most individuals will not choose to do tasks or continue to engage in a task when they expect to fail. Of course, if there is no motivation, it is expected that someone will fail to do something. Some reasons for being unmotivated may include no appreciation. When someone feels unappreciated, it can affect not only the emotions but also how the student think and act. Value refers to the different beliefs students have about the reasons they might engage in a task. The value placed on a task is more mediated by outside factors, such as peers and family, giving respect to the student's opinion. A student can also be motivated because there is a reward after the task will be completed. Okay, so outside factors play an important role in students' motivation to do a task. Behaviorism provides one way to explain the association between motivation to learn and peer interactions. In basic behaviorist theories, relationships between people affect learning as much as people reinforce each other or not in the academic arena. If the peer group encourages education and learning, then the individual student within the group will value learning because the individual is reinforced or rewarded for the behavior that indicates that learning is valued. While students in the peer groups that do not value education lack the stimulation and reinforcement needed to encourage personal learning, these peer groups presumably stimulate and reinforce other values. Albert Bandura's social learning theory speaks precisely to the human interactions involved in learning. Observational or vicarious learning is based upon learning by watching, then modeling, or acting similarly to others. If the student views and works with people who appreciate learning by engaging in learning activities, then the student too will engage in learning and might work harder at learning. Peer with positive attitudes and behaviors toward education will allow and teach each other to set goals that include opportunities to learn and achieve. If peer models do not convey positive attitudes toward learning, then the student observing these models will not prioritize learning also. In 1978, Lev Vygotsky also presented ideas on the facilitation of learning through experiences mediated by other people. In his explanations, the learner cannot reach full potential without the aid of others. The processes of guiding the learner to higher stages of cognitive functioning rely on interactive human relationships. A good example for this is we students. In order for us to learn, we need help from those who are capable persons. We need help from teachers and more capable peers to guide and enlighten our minds. It's always better when there is someone who will teach or assist us for better understanding until such time that we can learn on our own. In this view, assistance is transitional, a scaffold that is removed when it is no longer needed, and the student has internalized another's support. In some, varied theories agree that the values and attitudes of the peer group are essential elements in motivation and learning. Students who surround themselves with academically focused, goal-oriented peers will be more likely to appreciate, internalize, and exhibit these features themselves.
So, classroom dynamics. The educational process can be structured to boost the learning of individuals for younger students by providing a whole class environment that enriches learning opportunities with teachers who model positive learning values which will set the new learner on a path toward academic achievement. Encouraging students to interact with peers, adults, and family members who have strong learning desires can support the student development as learners. Although peer influences may not yet be as powerful as they will become in student achievement, motivation. The effects of young students' interactions cannot be disregarded. The academic environment needs to be structured in a fashion that allows for student interaction but sets boundaries that afford pro-social behavior. Within the classroom, time and organization can be established to focus students on their learning. Pairing and grouping students by their devotion to academics, for example, may benefit or involve. These dynamics must include consideration of the types of classroom curricula, as Mary McCaslin and Tom L. Good noted in 1996. Learning is socially situated. The achievement of the student is a small part of who the student is and what she does. The responsibilities of education include helping students recognize their own place as social contributors and maximizing the resources available to them through interpersonal relationships. Some students and educators view help-seeking as a sign of dependence or weakness, but research supports the contention that help-seeking is a sign of social competence that increases students' chances of academic success. Negative attitudes toward help-seeking may discourage low-achieving students from approaching peers and teachers and may further isolate them. Students are not isolated in the pursuit of knowledge. They are a social being who needs to interact and establish social contacts. Social learning is much a part of any classroom curriculum, as printed guidelines at a minimum. The influence of peers and students' relationships with them can be understood as a function of student age, motivation, learning, and classroom opportunities. So, I have a quote here, quote of Mandy Hale: "A healthy relationship doesn't drag you down. It inspires you to be better."